What's going on? Today's topic is when can I apply to become a US citizen? This is very important because we need more people to vote. But you have to be a US citizen to vote, whether it's your local level, municipal level, municipal judges. Every state is different. So there's so many different elections available to you or in America. And of course, everyone knows about the presidential election, which is definitely important. But there's so many other elections that are important that people need to vote. Let's see here. So when is someone eligible? And it depends on if you got your original residency status, green card status, based on a spouse. Okay, if it was based on a spouse, then it could be in 3 years. Okay, I have to think about that. It could be in 3 years. That's time flies, especially. I mean, for some people, then during the pandemic, time was a bit slow, but for others, a lot of things happened personally or in the business. So in that sense, it just depends on your situation. But like I mentioned, I think yesterday, put it on your calendar. Don't forget to do it. Okay. And yesterday I believe I was talking about remove conditions. That's still an important step. So even though I'm talking about citizens, how to become a citizen or when to become a citizen, this does not mean you skip that prior step if you have the 2-year conditional status. So you just need to keep that in mind. But today, if you did get married to a U.S. citizen and that's how you got your resident status, but now you're separated or divorced, like you actually have a order from the family court here, somewhere, any state in the United States, then you have to wait 5 years. Okay. 5 years of residency before you apply to become a U.S. citizen. So we just call it the 3 and 5 year rule, but you can technically apply a little bit before that, 3 months before, 90 days, technically, to be exact. But you cannot apply 90 days before the 3-year mark or 90 days before the 5-year mark. Okay. But the main key takeaway here is essentially, how did you get your status originally? And that will be your answer. Okay. And hopefully that helps. Now, there, of course, as you know, I talk about a lot of typical immigration problems. So in this scenario, the problem here is a problem here, but there's still a solution, is that if you do get divorced from the person that sponsored you originally, you can still, file your remove conditions if necessary. Not everyone has to. That's only for people who have the 2-year residency status. And then, but even if you finally get your conditional or become a permanent resident, then you still have to wait 5 full years as a resident, which includes the time when you're a conditional resident. Okay, conditional plus permanent resident. But in general, they just say in total how long resident status. Okay, so 5 years if you're no longer married to that person who helped you get status. So I hope I was very clear on that. But those are the typical questions when it's related to when can I file to become a U.S. citizen, to be what the USCIS calls naturalized, or I guess Congress made up that term. I don't like that term. That kind of sounds like it's like a factory type situation. So anyway, I like to call it become a U.S. citizen. So anyway, hopefully that helps. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I see some on YouTube. And by the way, if you haven't visited our website before and you're looking for more information that maybe I haven't covered on the live show, you're welcome to go to the website. It's called greencardguys.com. And what you want to look for is a free guide. Okay, I can show it on YouTube and Facebook. The free guide, we have several different ones on our website. You just scroll all the way down on any page and you'll see that there currently. Our most popular one these days is the free guide is about suing the government. Okay, and it's called mandamus lawsuit. And in fact, one of the most common questions, which is also included in that guide, one of the most common questions is related to that. When your case is delayed, taking too long, um, what happens if I sue the government? Will my case be denied because I sue the government? Will it have a negative impact on some level? No, there could be a negative situation result, but that's not because of the lawsuit. The purpose of the lawsuit is to telling the government, the court, that your case is taking an unreasonable amount of time to receive a decision. All right. That does not mean that you're asking for approval. That would be great, but legally, we cannot ask for approval in a lawsuit. What we're asking for is, in other scenarios, but yeah, in the other scenario, actually, if it's not about necessarily unreasonable delay, but if it's like arbitrary and capricious, then yes, we're arguing, hey, what the hell? Why was this turned into a visa refusal? This needs to turn around, or you need to give me the reasons why it was refused. So in that situation is different, but for most people, it's about your case just taking freaking too long, unfortunately. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. So check out our website. Another thing y'all need to know is that we offer, if you're new to our channel, free 15 minutes preliminary discussion. See if we can point you in the right direction, folks. If you're new to our channel, I forgot to mention this. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in all 50 states of America in helping you solve your immigration problem and even try to help you prevent it happening in the first place, preventing the problem from happening. Okay, that's why we go live every day, Monday through Friday. I do have to take a little break next week, but I'll still have some information to share with you next week. So stay tuned for that. Not exactly sure which day it will be, but it won't be a live show next week. Be taking a little break. Man, content creation is, what do people call it? Like influencer. It's a lot of work, actually. But I always try to think of this as like basically sharing, having know your rights presentation, like I did before the pandemic. So hopefully it's helpful for you. You know what? There's so many questions people have. There's so many different scenarios. Another common one that we have is about aging out. Like let's say you're the sponsor and you sponsor your file petition for your parents. I'm sorry, for your adult children, but then your adult children have children. They do that. Your grandchildren are called derivatives. Okay, in the immigration world, we call it derivative. But if the grandchildren turn over 21, that doesn't necessarily mean they've aged out, but that's definitely when you need to do the calculation. And you shouldn't rely on yourself to do the calculation. There is a website out there, but there's still some information you need to get correct before you put it into the calculator, basically. But this is called Child Status Protection Act. So there's a law that's intended to protect the grandchildren to have status, but it's not, as you know, laws are not perfect. I could talk about that all day, but that would probably bore you to death, so I won't do that. But yeah, that's very unfortunate about the law. Sometimes it just can't cover everyone that it's intended to. I don't know why. I wasn't there in Congress at that time, so I have no idea. But if you have any questions, let's see. I do see some. Let me get to some here. On Instagram, I see a question. You're waiting for your petition spouse since 2019. Ooh, my goodness. You're on Instagram, but I can share my screen so you know exactly what I'm looking at. Okay. So if you're on Instagram, you're wondering what I'm sharing. I'm just right now, you could go to the channel. It's called greencardguys.tv. If you just happen to be, what do you call actually you could be on the phone, pull it up. Okay. But I'm going to pull it up here so others can see on YouTube and Facebook. Processing time. The short answer, yes. Let me get straight to the point. Yes, you do need to file a lawsuit. Okay. It doesn't have to be with us. It'd be our honor, our pleasure to assist you. But lawsuits, you do need to hire a lawyer. So you just need to talk to someone, okay, about this. Because 2019 and Even if, are you a resident, Isan? Sorry if I mispronounced your name. If you're a resident, yes, it does take longer, but it shouldn't take that long. So I'll double check. I'm looking at the processing times right now. And if you happen to have your uh, receipt date, let me know. But let me look it up as also let me know your processing center, okay? Service center is what I call it. So let me share my screen on YouTube and Facebook real quick. Okay, there we go. Okay, it should show for your resident. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen on YouTube and Facebook. Let me see if we can make it a little bit larger. But if you're sticking on let me know your service center. Okay, if you happen to have your receipt notice on hand, or maybe you remember, it should be on the bottom left corner. It should say where your file's located. And who knows, maybe it transfers somewhere else. But at least I can give you an idea. So let me just click on processing time. Right now, for case files based on permanent resident, first spouse, that California Service Center is 25 months. 80% of cases take 25 months, so 2 years. Yours is like, it's 2023 right now. You're like 4 to 5 years, Isan. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. 4 to 5 years. That shouldn't be the case. Let me look at a couple other processing centers, because maybe you're looking up your receipt notice. Hey, Nebraska Service Center is much faster, only 10 months, 80% of cases. But here, look at this thing. Well, other people can look at this. On the bottom, there's a little box that says receipt date. You can type in your receipt date. And let me just make something up. Okay, you said 2019. So let me just put in the middle of the year, June 1st, 2019. Put that in there. Say get inquiry date. So it'll be one of two options after you click on get inquiry date, because unfortunately not everyone can file inquiry. Now, what will the inquiry do? Probably nothing. It will probably just say, here's the case status. And you're like, background check? What the hell? Or it's just still processing. Filing an inquiry does not push them to make a decision. It's just sharing an update with you. And it's frustrating. I get it. It's frustrating. Okay. But if your receipt date puts in, let's say so right now on the screen, let me make sure you guys can see it on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, you can. You can submit a question. So depending how freaking long the case is taking, the petition, you can file a service request online. I wouldn't call in. Just do it online, okay? Because you call in, it's going to take forever just to wait for them. But I'm going to put in June 1st, 2021 and see what we can say. So Nebraska Service Center is much faster. You can also still submit an inquiry, okay? But let's put June 1st, 2022 and get inquiry date. It says your case is processing normally. So it gives you an idea. So if it still says case processing normally, key hot tip right here, especially for waiver cases online like this will say, when I checked a couple weeks ago, it was like 36 months plus. It will say case is still processing normally. That doesn't mean that that's reasonable. Okay. So that's a caveat here. Okay. But normally petitions and waivers before the pandemic took like 8 months. All right. But when you're a sponsor as a resident, it does take a little longer, but not 4 to 5 years. That's ridiculous. But let me look in Potomac Service Center. Let's see what it says for this petition. 29 months. Folks, this is ridiculous, right? This is absolutely ridiculous. We shouldn't have to wait 20. You guys shouldn't have to wait 29 months. Texas Service Center says 20 months. Vermont Service Center says 30 months. Vermont Service Center is notorious. I don't know why it is, but they're always slow. Vermont Service Center typically handles like the victim type applications, VAWA, I-360s, but they're freaking slow. Guys, you guys deserve legal status. Don't wait. You have a tool available to you. It's a legal tool. This is not something I'm making up. You can Google search this. Yeah, you can look it up and you can see that, a lot more attorneys are helping with this. So that's good. So if you wanted someone local, you could. What we do is we team up with other attorneys. If you happen to live in a different, what we call jurisdiction, you live in a different city or state, or we need a co-counsel with someone, that's all good. Um, we can still help you. But you said WAC, okay, that's California Service Center. I think that's one that took like 25 months. Let me look that up again. Yep, 25 months. So yeah, fortunately, there's not one that says normal processing time for 5 years. But if I'm doing my math about correct, Isan, you're about waiting 4 to 5 years. So it's time. Okay, give us a shout. You can send us a DM or you can give us a call. Um, all right, so you can take action. Which, by the way, folks, we do offer 4 different plans. Normally 3, depending on the case type. But the 4th plan. In some scenarios, we could file like the gold plan, depending on the area, depending on the court. We have contacts with the U.S. attorney, and sometimes they say, "Hey, yeah, you're welcome to contact me directly before filing a lawsuit to see if we can get the information from the immigration agency, and that way we can avoid filing a lawsuit." But yes, you still have to pay the full fee with us because it's not bribery. Okay, this is just a logistics situation. Like if the U.S. attorneys don't really want to work on these kind of cases. They really want to work on like those white collar, high level kind of cases because they want to get promoted. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but just like any job, you want to get promoted and be known for something in your work. I don't think people are going to get promoted because of immigration case like this about case delays. That's just my 2 cents. If I were working for the government, so in that case, that doesn't mean they're not paying attention. They got to pay attention to your case, but that's why typically they want to help us sooner. So in that sense, but not every U.S. attorney's nice in that sense. So, but anyway, that's what we offer in a gold plan, to talk directly with the U.S. attorney, depending on the area. But if not the gold plan, we have the max plan, which you file a lawsuit in 72 hours. Of course, we have to make sure we have a co-counsel available in that area. But the point of why, people might ask, well, why would I still hire you, John, or your law firm, Team Law Group, for mandamus? Why I could go directly as maybe someone else? One is our customer service. We really focus on updating you because, believe it or not, the co-counsels that do have experience with these cases, they don't focus on it. So because if they don't focus on that to serve the community, that's okay. But then they don't have like a workflow to keep you updated. And I'm sorry, folks, if we do get a lot of calls about people saying I had a bad lawyer experience. I definitely acknowledge that. But and especially we've heard of people saying, I haven't heard from my lawyer like 2 weeks plus, maybe even 1 month. That's pretty ridiculous. That's a testament to mean that they don't have a good system. But for us, like if you call in and say, I haven't talked to, my lawyer didn't call me back yesterday. Well, that's a little bit unreasonable. It does take some time. But in our system, we have several team members. Not saying we're perfect. We're not going to be able to reply to emails in 30 seconds. We try our best. Maybe not 30 seconds. We try our best in 24 hours, right? But there are some times that it could take a little bit longer. Just depends on the day. So what I'm trying to say, it's our customer service to keep you updated about these mandamus cases. Because some lawyers know about mandamus. Like let's say you do have a lawyer that's helping with the immigration case. Don't give them a hard time because maybe they don't know, they don't even understand mandamus. So it's completely understandable. I used to be like that until basically pandemic happened. I was like, this is ridiculous. Like the pandemic is gone in the sense that the consulates and all these agencies really need to pick up things now. So you guys deserve legal status. It's time to take action. Okay. Those are typically the main questions. Okay. So hopefully I was able to share those. So, but hey, let's look at if a sponsor is a U.S. citizen. And I know I have some more questions on the on YouTube, so I'll get there soon. But yeah, let me look at U.S. citizen, WAC, receipt notice for California Center. 10 months, 10 and a half, which is good. But if your case is definitely taking longer than 10 and a half months, then check that out. Okay. Again, if it's like a waiver case or any case, that you're like, oh, it says 25 months. Do I really have to wait that long to file a lawsuit? You might not have to wait that long. So just give us a shout, send us a DM, or call us. There's so many ways to contact us. Don't wait. Okay. You guys deserve legal status. Let me get to some other comments here before I forget. Sorry, I just love talking about helping y'all get legal status. So, mandamus happens to be that one. Okay, on Plantana. Can I use 245I even if your dad did not get green card through the original petition? So I guess your dad didn't get the status. I'm not sure. I know this could be a personal question, so you don't have to answer on the live show, but is your dad able to get the green card, or did he pass? Because it definitely would be even more difficult if he passed away. But yeah, let's take a look. There's probably something you need to call into our office. I need to look at what kind of information you might have. The old petition was back in '97. Are you grandfather? So yeah, that'd be interesting. We'll need to put a task to our team to check, the legal team to check if even if your dad was not able to get status, if you could skip it, basically. I don't think that's possible, but I could be wrong. Let me see if your other question. But again, this is just a live show, so you do need to call in to a lawyer. It could be our team or someone else's. What happens if you send your 845 application? I think you mean the 485. And it turns out you're not 21 for immigration purposes for the CSPA age. Okay. Well, first, yeah, this is more detailed. You definitely should call in. We do offer, if you're just joined recently, this is we do offer free 15 minutes, okay, consultation to just talk this out, because it could be difficult getting, follow-up questions, answers. But the first thing is not the 845 form. I think you're talking about the 485 form, and that's adjustment of status. And that form is assuming you're going to get this, like you're legally eligible to get status here in America without leaving. If there's any indication in your facts, in your immigration history, that you need to go back outside the US, then that's what we call consular processing, and that you would not need to file the 485, right? Because the 485 right now, if I have it correct, is about $1,225. So it's not cheap, right? And the USCIS fees are increasing. The proposed rule is going to end in early March 6th. So I don't know exactly when it's going to happen, like to take effect, the increased fees. But yeah, even more reason to chat with the lawyer sooner than later. But yeah, you're right. You're on point that you don't want to age out. So hopefully you're. One question I ask is, I wonder, maybe you can think about, if you share for later, is has your dad filed anything? I don't want to assume which country, but most people that call us, the more populated countries, like, in this sense, is Mexico, about this issue, 245I. So I wonder if, I'm going to see if I can pull up the visa bulletin here. The other issue on that is that, let's say, like, the original petitioner sponsor was a sibling, then we have a problem. Okay, so let me share my screen on YouTube. I'm gonna hide the question so y'all can see it better. Okay, this is the visa bulletin for February 2023. I am looking at the final action date under family. Okay. Of course, anything I share here is disclaimers that this is not legal advice. This is for information purposes only. You still need to talk with the lawyer directly before you take action on your case or not take action on your case. Because I really would hate for you to not apply for something, and for anyone, not apply for something because I'm just giving general advice. You really need to speak with a lawyer one-on-one. Okay. And that's why one reason we offer free 15 minutes. Okay. But share as much information to our cares team, our team who answers the phone, because that would would speed through things. We could, because sometimes a scenario like this, if we don't have all the info, you're really not getting anything solved in 15 minutes, right? So it's better you provide the information and make your time useful. Okay, so what I'm sharing here, which country is it, Anna? If you're still on, hopefully. And then if it's Mexico, let's say, and this who is the sponsor, if it's a sibling, which is typically the case when it's something related to 245I, then okay, see, yeah, okay. Yeah, can you give a call? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Give us a call. It's kind of complicated, you're right? You're out of Mexico. Oh, champion, great. We look forward to chatting with you. Let me tell my team you're calling. Let me tell my cares team, hey, be ready for champion. And that's the kind of we use, like that's kind of cool. Hey, this is a hotline. Champion's calling in. Maybe I need to do that for the live show too. That'd be kind of cool. I've seen that on other YouTube channels. Okay, Anna, you're welcome to call in. The cares team are not lawyers, the people that first answer the phone, but they try to give you some information. But this scenario, you definitely need a consultation. So Anna, I'll tell the team that if you do call in, to offer you a consultation. Okay. All right. So, but I'm sharing my screen here since it sounds like you're still on anyway. Mexico, you said yours is, that petition was 1997. Ooh. The first dot, because here in Mexico under F4, any date before this final action date is pretty much like, I hate to say this, it might be SOL in terms of, let's say it was like your uncle that filed, or uncle or aunt that filed based on that petition. But let's say, Anna, I know you basically, I'm inferring that you don't have status because you asked to get status yourself. But let's say you had a sibling, your own sibling that is a U.S. citizen, and your sibling can sponsor your dad. You can still use this 245I. You can still use the this old petition from 1997. So that's a great thing in that sense. Oh, your grandparent is the one who filed for your dad. Okay, so let me check the category. But so hopefully, and is your dad married? At least was your dad married? So I see this example. There's a lot of questions. Is your dad married, and then is your grandparent a resident still, or a citizen now? There's just, it's like putting pieces into like a puzzle here, because the answer could change basically. But either way, the only one that's close, looking at this, is it could be F3. If it's F3, ends up being F3 category, where if you're it's based on like your dad being married and your grandparents are U.S. citizen, then that would be F3. And it shows right here, final action date, like last case scenario, basically November 97. Okay, but either way, the other thing that doesn't really show you on the screen is that once it hits that priority date, like 1997, your dad or the applicant has 1 year to take action, unless it shows the letter C, current. So yeah, it is a bit complicated. You're right, Anna. So if there's a way we can help you, give us a call and we'll set you up. Our cares team will set you up. Great questions. Love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Hey, UK, you're Uday from LA. That kind of rhymes. Let's see here. Any other questions on Instagram? Okay, cool. All right. So if you're new to our channel, welcome. Thanks for tuning into greencardguys.tv. And my name is John Ting. I'm here to solve your immigration problem Happy to offer any guidance on that for information and unlock those free 15 minutes to see if we can help you. Until next time, folks. If you post, okay. Well, I was about to sign off, but I see another question. You have a worker's permit, and how do you become a resident? Okay, well, Heidi, I see your question on Instagram. That's a very broad question. Hit us up as a DM, a direct message, and we'll invite you to a webinar because there's a lot of different options there. Folks, we are offering webinars so that you may not need like a formal consultation yet, just more if you're just seeking information. We're going to have the invitations out hopefully in the next week or so, because we've been getting requests for that. They're like, John, I'm not ready yet. I just need more information. All good. We're happy to offer that. All right, folks. On that note, thank you so much. We look forward to it. I'll see you tomorrow with another topic. Take care now.